The Big Valley, 1965 to 1969, remains one of the most iconic Western TV series, bringing gripping stories and unforgettable characters to the small screen. But after 60 years, where are the stars now? In this article, we explore the lives of the cast members from The Big Valley, uncovering what they've been up to since the show ended in 1969. From career milestones to personal struggles, and from triumphs to untimely losses, find out how the actors' lives have unfolded in the decades following their time on the show, now in 2025. Richard Long, who portrayed Jared Barkley on The Big Valley, began his role in 1965 at the age of 38. Jarrod was a figure of wisdom and calm, the family's legal mind and moral compass, often seen as the voice of reason amidst the chaos. However, Long's personal life was far from the composed image he portrayed on screen. He was married twice, first to Patricia Long and then to Marie, but both marriages were troubled. His personal struggles with loneliness and his declining health often overshadowed his professional life. At just 47 years old, Long passed away from a heart attack on December 21, 1974. His untimely death was a tragic end to a life that seemed marked by inner turmoil, a stark contrast to the confident figure of Jarrod that viewers had come to know. Despite his fame, Long's life was filled with private battles, leaving his true legacy as one of personal sorrow alongside professional success. Peter Breck, who played the fiery and passionate Nick Barkley, started his role on The Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 36. Nick was known for his hot temper and unwavering loyalty to his family, often acting as the ranch's protector. But Breck's life was filled with emotional pain and hardship. He was married twice, first to actress Doris Kleiner, with whom he had 2 children, but their marriage ended in divorce. His second marriage was also marred by struggles. The pressures of Hollywood, combined with deep personal struggles, led him to alcohol and feelings of isolation. His career, once promising, took a downturn as he struggled to find peace. Breck passed away on February 6, 2012, at the age of 82, after suffering a stroke. His final years were marked by deep loneliness and regret, with the joyful, passionate persona he brought to Nick Barkley a distant memory of a man lost in his own battles. His passing ended a life marked by professional achievements but overshadowed by personal tragedies and unspoken grief. Barbara Stanwyck, who portrayed the resilient Victoria Barkley, began her role in The Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 58. Victoria was a strong matriarch, a leader who embodied moral integrity, but Barbara's own life was filled with struggles. Her first marriage to actor Frank Fay was marked by infidelity and emotional turmoil, and it ended in divorce in 1935. Barbara's second marriage to actor Robert Taylor seemed promising but was ultimately fraught with difficulties, leading to their separation. The greatest tragedy of Barbara's life came with the death of her adopted son in 1954, a loss that devastated her and overshadowed her career. Despite her immense success in Hollywood, Barbara faced deep loneliness and emotional isolation in her personal life. She kept much of her pain hidden, but it was evident in her later years, when health problems began to take their toll. Barbara Stanwyck passed away on January 20, 1990, at the age of 82. Joe Higgins, who portrayed Mortensen in The Big Valley, 1965, was 40 when he joined the show, playing a character driven by a strong sense of justice and morality. Mortensen's dedication to doing what was right stood in stark contrast to the challenges Joe faced in his own life. While his career was stable, Joe struggled deeply in his personal life. His marriage fell apart after years of tension, and he became estranged from his 2 children, leaving him with a sense of personal failure. Financial difficulties further compounded his stress, making it difficult for him to focus on his work and relationships. In his later years, Joe's health began to deteriorate, and he faced a series of emotional crises. On June 15, 1998, at the age of 72, Joe passed away from a heart attack, a tragic end to a life that had been marred by personal regrets and unfulfilled aspirations. Napoleon Whiting, who portrayed the loyal and dependable Silas, began his role in the Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 55. Silas was a man of quiet strength, always putting others before himself, but Napoleon's personal life was far from easy. Despite his respected career in Hollywood, he faced significant financial difficulties, struggling to maintain stability despite his success on screen. He never married and had no children, a fact that left him feeling a deep sense of loneliness and emotional emptiness. Napoleon's personal struggles were compounded by his later years, which were marked by deteriorating health and the loss of close friends. He found solace in his work, but his personal life was filled with unfulfilled desires and the harsh realities of living alone. Napoleon Whiting passed away on October 22, 1984, at the age of 74. Douglas Kennedy, who portrayed Sheriff Fred Madden in the Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 50, played a loyal and steadfast lawman who helped maintain order in the valley and assisted the Barkley family in their many challenges. His character was a rock of morality and duty, but behind the scenes, Kennedy's career never soared as it should have. His acting was largely confined to supporting roles, and despite years of experience, he struggled to gain the recognition he deserved. Kennedy's personal life mirrored the disappointments of his career. His marriage ended in divorce, and he faced a lonely existence in his later years. Health problems, including cancer, gradually took a toll on him, leading to his death on August 10, 1973, at the age of 57. His passing, at the height of his potential, marked the tragic end of a career overshadowed by missed opportunities and personal loss. Harlan Ward, who played Arthur Kleber in the Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 48, brought depth to a small role, creating a character who was a man of integrity and wisdom. Ward's career consisted mostly of minor parts, and despite his talent, he struggled to secure leading roles. His acting often went unnoticed, leaving him with an unfulfilled sense of achievement. His personal life was equally difficult, as his first marriage ended in divorce, and his second marriage was marked by strain and emotional distance. Ward had 2 children, but his family life was far from ideal, and the bitterness of his failed relationships weighed heavily on him. In his later years, Ward faced financial difficulties and health problems, which led to his untimely death from a heart attack on March 13, 1980, at the age of 62. He left behind a legacy of unrecognized talent and a life filled with unrealized dreams. Bing Russell, who played Clint in the Big Valley starting in 1965 at the age of 39, gave the character a rugged and dependable air, often found in the thick of the valley's troubles. His role was beloved by fans, yet Russell's career was hampered by being cast mainly in secondary roles, which kept him from achieving stardom. His personal life reflected his career struggles, with a marriage that ended in divorce and the emotional challenges of raising 3 children while grappling with a lack of career advancement. As Russell grew older, he became increasingly frustrated by the unfulfilled promise of his career, and his health began to decline. The combination of career setbacks and personal stress contributed to depression in his later years. Russell passed away on April 8, 2003, at the age of 76, from prostate cancer, leaving behind a legacy of what could have been, and a life marked by unrealized potential. Walker Edmiston, who played Barney in the Big Valley, 1965, was 39 years old when he began portraying the quirky and humorous character. Barney's light-hearted nature brought much-needed comic relief to the series, contrasting with the dramatic intensity of the other characters. In contrast, Walker's personal life was far from light-hearted. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, leaving him emotionally drained and searching for stability. Though he remarried, his second marriage also fell apart, leaving Walker to struggle with feelings of inadequacy and loneliness. Despite a successful career, he faced financial difficulties and battled alcohol addiction, which affected both his personal and professional life. As he aged, his health began to deteriorate, and he found himself increasingly isolated. Walker passed away on February 15, 2007, at the age of 81, due to complications from health issues. Mark Tapscott, who portrayed Bates in the Big Valley, 1966, joined the series at the age of 42, bringing to life the hardworking ranch hand who remained loyal to the Barkley family. Bates was a quiet, dependable character, always there to lend a hand when needed. Unfortunately, Mark's own life did not reflect the stability of his on-screen role. His career never reached the heights he had hoped for, with the Big Valley being his most notable role. His marriage ended in a painful divorce, leaving him with emotional scars that would follow him throughout his life. Mark had one son, but their relationship deteriorated over time as the personal struggles of his parents affected their bond. As he grew older, Mark faced significant financial difficulties and struggled with depression. The weight of his emotional turmoil, combined with his declining health, eventually led to his death on December 10, 1993, at the age of 68. Kevin Hagen, who portrayed Amos Farrell on The Big Valley, began his role in 1965 at the age of 37. Amos was known for his unwavering moral compass, often caught in situations that challenged his integrity and forced him to stand up for what was right. However, Hagen's personal life was fraught with struggles. His 2 failed marriages, combined with the emotional toll of his father's alcoholism, left him with feelings of loneliness and regret. Professionally, Hagen's career was marked by both steady work and frustrations, never quite reaching the heights of fame he sought. His legacy was overshadowed by his private battles, including a diagnosis of esophageal cancer, which led to his passing on July 9, 2005, at 77. His death marked the end of a life full of unfulfilled potential, with his personal and professional struggles leaving a bittersweet memory. Mort Mills, who portrayed the sheriff in The Big Valley, began his role in 1965 at the age of 46. The sheriff was a symbol of authority and stability, but Mills' own life was anything but stable. Professionally, he faced challenges, struggling to maintain consistent roles in Hollywood due to his ongoing battle with alcoholism. His personal life was even more turbulent. His first wife's death left him devastated, and he struggled to cope with the grief. The tragic loss of his son in a car accident was another devastating blow, one that he never fully recovered from. Mills' second marriage was equally troubled, and his emotional struggles overshadowed his career. He passed away on June 6, 1993, at 74 due to a heart attack. His death was the final chapter in a life marked by personal tragedies and unrealized potential, leaving behind a man who had spent much of his life wrestling with pain and loss. Rex Holman, who played the colorful Cajun in The Big Valley, began his role in 1966 at the age of 31. Cajun was a character brimming with charm and mystery, often injecting a sense of intrigue into the series. However, Holman's real life was far more complicated. His career never quite reached the success it deserved, as he struggled with feelings of being overlooked and undervalued. Holman's first marriage ended in divorce, and his second marriage faced its own share of challenges, leaving him emotionally strained. Throughout his life, he battled with depression, which made it difficult to find personal happiness. As of 2025, at 90 years old, Holman lives in quiet solitude, far from the spotlight, often reflecting on his struggles both in his career and personal life. His journey serves as a poignant reminder of how elusive contentment can be, even for those who create memorable characters. Dale Johnson, who played the juror in The Big Valley starting in 1968 at the age of 53, had a minor yet memorable role on the show. Despite his talent and brief moment in the spotlight, Johnson's career was marred by a series of disappointments and unrealized dreams. His personal life mirrored his career struggles, with a failed marriage that left him emotionally scarred and without children to carry on his name. Financial instability and a sense of failure clouded his later years, and Johnson's emotional state became increasingly fragile as he grappled with the passage of time and his inability to break through in Hollywood. He passed away on April 1, 2005, at the age of 89, having lived a life overshadowed by the weight of his unfulfilled potential and personal misfortunes, leaving behind a legacy of quiet heartbreak. Richard Anderson, who began his role as Hen Matson in The Big Valley in 1966 at the age of 40, portrayed a character full of moral complexity, often caught in situations that tested his loyalty and integrity. Anderson's career, however, was marred by missed opportunities and his tendency to be cast in secondary roles, preventing him from ever reaching the level of fame many believed he was capable of. Despite steady work in television, he never had a breakthrough role that would catapult him to stardom. His personal life was fraught with struggles. His marriage ended in a painful divorce, and his relationship with his 2 children was distant at best. Anderson's ongoing battle with depression and declining health cast a shadow over his later years, leaving him feeling isolated. On August 31, 2017, Anderson passed away at the age of 91. Bruce Dern, who portrayed Clovis in The Big Valley starting in 1966 at the age of 30, was known for playing tough, unpredictable characters, and his portrayal of Clovis brought a sense of danger to the series. However, his career, while respected, never fully flourished into the mainstream success many expected. Despite earning recognition for his roles, Dern often found himself relegated to darker, more troubled roles, a career trajectory that limited his opportunities. His personal life mirrored the chaos of his on-screen roles. His marriage to actress Diane Ladd ended in an emotional and bitter divorce, and his strained relationship with their daughter, actress Laura Dern, added to his personal struggles. Dern's mental health deteriorated over the years, with periods of depression and frustration with his career and personal life. By 2025, at the age of 88, Dern's health had begun to fail, and although he has a long and respected career, his personal battles have cast a shadow on his legacy. L.Q. Jones, who took on the role of Court in The Big Valley in 1966 at the age of 39, played a tough and resilient character, often caught in the midst of the Barkley family's many conflicts. Though Jones was an accomplished actor with a steady career in film and television, his path was full of struggles. He never quite reached the fame his talent deserved, and his roles often kept him in supporting positions. Jones's personal life was marked by hardship, including a painful divorce from actress Rosemary Forsyth and the financial pressures that came with it. As his career slowed down, Jones was forced to confront deep feelings of isolation and the frustrations that came with it. Despite his resilience, Jones's later years were clouded by health issues, and he passed away on July 9, 2022, at the age of 94, after a long illness. His passing marked the end of a life filled with both triumphs and personal struggles. Frank Marth, who portrayed Marshall Lanson in The Big Valley, 1966, was 44 when he took on the role of the firm, authoritative lawman. Marshall Lanson was known for his dedication to maintaining law and order in the wild, chaotic world of the Barkley family, yet Frank's own life was far from orderly. Despite his success on screen, Frank's personal life was fraught with hardship. He was married twice, but both marriages ended in divorce due to infidelities and emotional distance. His financial stability faltered as his career slowed, and he faced health challenges in his later years. Frank's life was filled with personal regrets and unfulfilled ambitions. He passed away on January 12, 2014, at the age of 91 from heart failure. While his death marked the end of a long life, it was one that had been shadowed by a series of emotional struggles and career setbacks that never fully allowed him to find peace. Ken Lynch, who portrayed the sheriff in The Big Valley, 1965, was 55 when he began playing the tough, no-nonsense lawman, working alongside the Barkley family to maintain order. The sheriff was a steady, reliable presence on screen, but Ken's personal life was far more tumultuous. His first marriage ended in a painful divorce, and his second marriage was plagued with infidelities and emotional strain. His relationships with his children grew distant as his career consumed most of his time. In his later years, Ken's health deteriorated, and he faced a series of illnesses that left him physically weakened. Despite his professional success, his personal life was filled with regret and isolation. Ken passed away on February 13, 1990, at the age of 79, from complications related to his health. His death marked the end of a career defined by memorable performances, but it was also a sad reflection of the challenges he faced off-screen. Don Chastain, who played Crowder in The Big Valley, 1967, was 32 when he joined the show, bringing a sense of mystery and depth to his character. While Crowder was a minor role, Don's portrayal added layers of intrigue to the series. However, Don's personal life was marked by turmoil. His first marriage ended in a bitter divorce, and his relationship with his children became strained over time. He struggled with feelings of isolation, compounded by his inability to fulfill his career dreams. As he grew older, Don was diagnosed with cancer, which left him physically and emotionally exhausted. His death on August 9, 2002, at the age of 66, came after a prolonged battle with the disease. His passing was the end of a career that held so much potential but was ultimately overshadowed by personal and health-related tragedies. Robert Carnes, who played Father Esteban in The Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 44, brought a calm and reassuring presence to the role of a priest who provided spiritual guidance to the Barkley family and the local community. His portrayal of wisdom and compassion stood in stark contrast to his real life, which was filled with profound personal tragedy. Carnes' marriage to his wife, whom he had 2 children with, began to fall apart after the tragic car accident that claimed the life of their son, Richard. Struggling with grief and a shattered family life, Carnes turned to alcohol as a way to cope, which ultimately led to his physical decline. His career, once promising, took a back seat to his personal turmoil. His health deteriorated, and he passed away from cirrhosis of the liver on November 15, 1995, at the age of 74, leaving behind little recognition or fanfare. Lincoln Demian, who began portraying Carlos Lopez in The Big Valley in 1967 at the age of 56, brought a sense of adventure and charisma to his character, which added color to the show's landscape. However, Demian's own life was anything but colorful in a positive sense. He was left devastated after the suicide of his wife, Eleanor, which deeply affected him emotionally and caused a wedge between him and their 2 children, Maria and Louis. The tragedy of his wife's death caused Demian to spiral into depression, leaving him isolated from his family and unable to revive his career. His once promising future in acting was plagued by personal struggles, and he failed to find the stability that he sought. Demian's health began to deteriorate due to smoking and a lack of care, and he passed away on September 16, 2002, at the age of 90 from lung cancer. James Whitmore, who portrayed Handy in The Big Valley, began his role in 1966 at the age of 45. Handy was a sharp-witted, resourceful character who often acted as a problem solver for the Barkley family. Unfortunately, Whitmore's life mirrored many of the challenges his character faced. He married actress and singer, Audra Lindley, but their marriage ended after many years of tumultuous separation, and they never had children. His struggles with alcohol and depression affected both his personal and professional life, and despite a long career with a number of notable roles, he often felt overlooked and underappreciated. His career was riddled with disappointments and false starts, leaving him in emotional turmoil as his health deteriorated. Whitmore was diagnosed with lung cancer in the early 2000s, and his health rapidly declined. He passed away on February 6, 2009, at 87, having fought a quiet battle with the disease. His death marked the end of a life filled with personal and professional hardships. Troy Melton, who portrayed Jack Wilson in The Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 39, was known for his portrayal of a reliable, strong, and rugged character who could be counted on in times of trouble. Sadly, Melton's real life was fraught with instability and heartbreak. After marrying twice, his relationships were filled with strife, and his struggles with addiction, particularly alcoholism, only added to his personal misery. His first wife, Margaret, divorced him, and his second marriage to Joan ended in similar turmoil, leaving Melton with little stability in his personal life. His strained relationship with his son, James, only worsened as he became more consumed by his emotional struggles and substance abuse. Despite his work on The Big Valley, Melton's career stalled, and he faded from the limelight. On November 15, 1995, he passed away from a drug overdose at the age of 69, a tragic end for a man whose once promising career was overshadowed by his personal battles. James Gregory, who portrayed Simon Carter in The Big Valley, began his role in 1966 at the age of 54. Simon was a commanding and authoritative figure, often the voice of reason in difficult situations. Yet Gregory's personal life was steeped in hardship. His marriage to the actress Edna Gregory was marred by long periods of estrangement, and they eventually divorced after several years of emotional strain. Their only child, a son named James Jr., struggled with mental health issues, leading to a strained father-son relationship. Gregory's career, though steady, was often overshadowed by his battle with depression and anxiety, especially as his fame waned in later years. His career highs were eclipsed by personal lows, and he became increasingly isolated from Hollywood. After living a quiet life in his later years, James Gregory passed away on September 16, 2002, at the age of 90 from natural causes. Bert Freed, who portrayed Henry Marvin in The Big Valley, began his role in 1966 at the age of 47. Henry was a tough, resilient character who often found himself navigating the complex issues within the Barkley family's world. Freed, however, faced a much darker reality in his own life. His marriage to fellow actress Frances Miller was filled with conflict and strain, culminating in their divorce after a decade of trying to make their relationship work. Despite their 2 children, whom he loved dearly, Freed's personal life became a battlefield, marked by bitterness and regret. He struggled with a growing sense of failure, unable to balance his work as an actor with the emotional toll of his fractured family life. Although Freed found some success in television, his career stalled as he battled personal demons, including alcoholism and bouts of deep depression. His passing on August 2, 1994, at the age of 74, came after years of physical and emotional suffering, as he spent his final years in relative isolation. Royal Dano, who played Ezra in The Big Valley, started his role in 1966 at the age of 44. Ezra was a mysterious and insightful character, known for his enigmatic personality. Dano, in reality, lived a life that often mirrored the complexities of his on-screen roles. His marriage to actress and dancer, Sally Dano, was marred by constant instability, including financial struggles and his volatile temper. Although they had 3 children, Dano's emotional distance from his family caused rifts that never healed. His career, though varied and full of character roles, did not bring the kind of recognition that Dano had hoped for. Instead, his life was marked by personal turmoil and deep sorrow, as he never managed to escape the shadows of his personal demons. The actor's life spiraled further out of control with his growing dependence on alcohol, which led to numerous health issues. Dano passed away on May 15, 1994, at the age of 71 due to a heart attack. John Milford, who played Atteridge in The Big Valley, began his role in 1965 at the age of 38. Atteridge was a minor character, but Milford infused him with a sense of realism, complementing the main cast with his nuanced performance. Milford's career included appearances in Bonanza, Gunsmoke, and Mission Impossible, but despite his dedication, he remained largely in the background, yearning for more prominent roles. He married Marjorie in his early 20s, but the pressures of his struggling career and constant travel led to their divorce after 15 years. The couple had 2 daughters, Susan and Ellen, whom Milford adored, but his relationship with them suffered after Susan tragically died in a car accident in 1981. This loss deeply affected him, and his health began to deteriorate in the late 1990s as he battled melanoma. He passed away on August 14, 2000, at the age of 72, leaving behind a legacy of resilience in the face of professional and personal heartbreak. Walter Burke, who portrayed George Gates in The Big Valley, joined the cast in 1966 at the age of 58. Gates was a sharp, observant character, and Burke brought an undeniable charm and energy to the role. Known for his work in over 100 films and TV shows, including The Andromeda Strain and The Twilight Zone, Burke often found himself cast as quirky, eccentric characters due to his short stature. Despite his professional success, his personal life was fraught with turmoil. Burke married 3 times. His second marriage to Helen produced a son, Michael, but the family endured frequent upheaval due to his erratic schedule and drinking problems. As he aged, Burke struggled with declining health and financial instability. A fall in 1980 left him partially disabled, further isolating him in his final years. He passed away on August 4, 1984, at the age of 75, from pneumonia and heart failure, a somber end to a life of immense talent and profound struggles. Lee Majors, who portrayed Heath Barkley, the illegitimate son of Tom Barkley, began his role in 1965 at the age of 26. Heath was a character defined by his quiet strength, struggle for acceptance, and determination to prove his worth. Majors, too, faced numerous personal challenges in his life. His marriages to actress Kathy Robinson and later to Farrah Fawcett were both highly publicized and ultimately ended in divorce. His marriage to Fawcett, in particular, was filled with tension and heartbreak. In 1976, Majors survived a near-fatal plane crash that left him with serious injuries, adding to the emotional toll of his life. Though his acting career remained strong, his personal life was filled with pain and disappointment. As of 2025, Majors is 85 years old and living away from the public eye. While his career and public image remain strong, his life has been marked by personal heartbreak, and he has often been left to reflect on the distance between the strength of his on-screen persona and the struggles he faced behind closed doors. Linda Evans, who portrayed the spirited Audra Barkley, began her role in The Big Valley in 1965 at the age of 23. Audra was a character of strength and beauty, but also of vulnerability, and her role resonated with Linda's own personal struggles. While Linda's career flourished, her personal life was marked by tumultuous relationships and heartache. She married TV producer John Derek, who was nearly 30 years older than her, but their marriage ended in divorce, leaving Linda to grapple with the emotional fallout. She later married 2 more times, but neither marriage lasted. Linda's deep longing for a family went unfulfilled, as she never had children, a fact that caused her great sorrow. She struggled with loneliness and a sense of inadequacy, often feeling overshadowed by the public's expectations of perfection. As of 2025, Linda is 82 and still a beloved figure in Hollywood, but the scars of her personal battles remain, casting a shadow over her otherwise successful career. Who is your favorite character from The Big Valley? How do you feel knowing that some of the actors have passed away? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, please remember to like, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you won't miss future videos. Thank you so much.